You! You! What a night! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's live eviction show was shocking. Guys, shocking. I need another English word for shocking. It was shocking. Guys, shocking. But you see, yeah, as much as it was shocking, it was also really eye-opening. Yes, it was really eye-opening. I mean, guys, it just revealed the voting pattern of the viewers this season. How do people vote? Let me ask you, how do people vote? What is your criteria for voting? Because, guys, I still can't wrap my head around the fact that Tracy is still in that house. Denari is still in that house. How? Ladies and gentlemen, how? Who is voting for Tracy? I need to know. I need answers like right now. Who is voting for Tracy? If you know you're on Tracy's management team, please review yourself. Who is voting for this girl? Because listen, I'm not saying that Tracy should have left, but it's just shocking that Doris, who is always yada yada yada, always making noise, always threatening fire and brimstone, always doing the absolute most, just got evicted tonight. Big Soso as well, the spiritual madam, the one that has spirit of discernment. At least we must give it to her tonight though, that her spirit of discernment kind of worked for her, because the same thing she wore the day of the lunch show is the same thing that she wore tonight. And guys, she could not even fit into the dress. So that's it. For the first time, her spirit of discernment kind of worked in her favor. At least that spirit told her that, wear this dress, so the same way you came, that's the same way you're living. But ladies and gentlemen, it is insane. It is insane. Tonight's live eviction show. Wow. But anyways, let's get right into it. Listen, it was just mostly evictions that happened tonight. There wasn't really a lot of interactions between Ebuka and the housemates, all right? Ebuka was just all about the business of the night. And I must admit, though, I was quite disappointed that only 3 people were evicted. We were actually expecting at least 4 people to be leaving the house tonight, you know? And as far as I'm concerned, the house is still so full for the 7th week. I don't get... Are we having a top 10 instead of a top 5 in the finale? Because what's going on? Why do we still have a lot of people in the house? There's still too much. But it's fine. It's fine. Tonight's live eviction show, as I said, was quite shocking, was quite exciting. I thoroughly enjoyed the pattern of the evictions, right? And Big Soso's eviction, which was the first, was, oh my goodness, it was very satisfying. I'm not going to lie. It was very satisfying. You know, I feel like aside myself, a lot of viewers were also sick and tired of her two-faced, her double standards, you know, her brags about her spirituality, of always talking about how godly she is. I mean, guys, come on. We know that the show is not entirely the most spiritual show on the continent of Africa. We know that the Big Brother show is not necessarily a church service, you know, but the way she made it seem like all the other housemates were sinners and then she was the only saint in the house, it was kind of overbearing to watch. It was quite annoying, and yeah, annoying to the point of irritation, that she became an eyesore for a lot of people. A lot of us, we did not want to watch her anymore. She was quite annoying, yes. And today she was just going on and on and on and talking and talking. And for one who brags a lot about how big she is on the outside, about the width and the length and the breadth of her connections, one would have thought that she would win the show. One would have thought that she would have gotten people that would have been voting for her consistently, even without the general public, right? But it was quite shocking that she got evicted. But on the flip side, we must give it to her people, though. I mean, she lasted this long. She lasted to the 6th week, which is no easy feat, because we've had housemates that got evicted, you know, after 2 weeks in the house. So yes, well done to her. She tried, she came, She exposed herself. She revealed her true colors to the world to see. And now the world knows her for who she is. And I really do hope that that therapy that she said that she wants to go and take for the next 1 or 3 months, that she actually does take it, because she really needs it. Yeah, there's something unhinged in that girl's head. So she definitely needs that therapy. And aside that, you know that other thing that she said that she has as a problem, that she's always inheriting beef. Somebody needs to remind her that now that she's in Nigeria, she needs to watch her mouth, because Nigeria is not like the UK where she says that she lives, right? So over here, you don't just inherit people's beef like that. They go beat you. They will beat you. They will catch you. They will beat you. So she needs to keep her mouth shut, learn to mind her business, and not be poke-nosing her mouth in every Tom, Dick, and Harry's business, because this part of the world, you don't mind your business, you get bit. Yes. But anyways, all the best to her in all of her endeavors. But it is such a huge relief that she's out of the house now. Make we see road. Now, moving on to the next eviction of the night. Ivatar's eviction. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be frank with all of you. I was... Now, onto Ivatar's eviction. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be frank with all of you. I kind of saw it coming. It was even long overdue, if we're going to be honest with ourselves. It was long overdue. If Ivatar had been consistent with... Okay, you know what? I can't even say if she had been consistent with her energy, because frankly speaking, Doris had actually been consistent with her energy, but then she ended up getting evicted. So I feel like this season, the viewers actually know what they want. They have a particular type of people that they are voting for, that they are keeping in the house. And I feel like the finale is going to be very, very shocking. I feel like the person that people expect will win will end up not winning because of the pattern of voting by the viewers. But then Ivatar, as I said, got evicted. Once again, just like Big Soso, she was also wearing the outfits that she wore into the house, which made me wonder, like, these people, did you people have an idea that you were going to be evicted, or did you sense it? Did you feel it? Yes. But anyways, when she got on the stage, Ebuka had questioned her about that whole drama between herself and Mensa last week Sunday during the live eviction show, and even after the live eviction show. And I asked her what was going on, and she said, obviously, Mensa had a lot of things to say to her, but he wasn't saying it. Instead, he was going around telling people about her. So she had to start talking because she wanted to know what his problem with her was. He wanted her to talk. And according to her, Mensa had been able to pick up so sort of hate campaign against her, you know, from other housemates, no more like mobilizing other housemates to dislike her, which is quite weird because, guys, that is not exactly the case. Ivatar has had her own personal issues with different people in the house, and whatever sentiments her fellow housemates have towards her, it is based on her relationship with those individuals. So her putting all of that blame on Mensa, I felt like that was just her being lazy to take accountability for her actions and her interactions with her fellow housemates. But all the best to her. All the best to her. Now on to our Labubu's eviction, Doris. Guys, Doris was shocked. She did not see it coming. She thought that she was going to be tagged as safe, right? But then, quite shockingly, she had been evicted. And guys, even Denari was quite shocked because Doris gives off this energy of the strongest player in the house. You know, the fact that she takes on all of these props for the attacks, their wager preparations and everything. Doris gives off main character energy. Anybody that listens to her and watches her on the show is very sure that she's definitely going to make top 5 or even top 3, you know, but quite shockingly, she got evicted. Yes, and guys, I'm going to be frank with you. I'm going to miss Doris. Of everybody that was evicted tonight, if there's one person I'm going to miss, it's definitely Doris. I enjoy how she antagonizes Faith, because at the end of the day, you know, it's either Faith wins or Big Brother cancels the results, you know, of whatever task that she is competing with against Faith on. Yeah, so I kind of like the rivalry, the intellectual rivalry that's going on between both, or that was going on between both of them, and for that I'm really going to miss her anyways. And Also, her relationship with Denari. I mean, guys, Denari is going to be lonely now. Who is he going to be talking to? Who is he going to be gossiping with? That is another aspect of his life that I would love to see on the show. I want to see how he's going to manage himself this week without Doris. Doris was literally his crutch in the house. Doris was literally his backbone, cooking for him, doing everything for him, even his mouthpiece at some point. So I cannot wait to see how he's going to survive and handle himself in the house this week. Yeah. And you see, as much as I was shocked out here, Doris too had expressed her shock. Now, Ebuka had asked her who she felt should be occupying her position right there and then on the stage. And she said there were actually a lot of housemates who were not really doing anything, that she put in the work, but a lot of other housemates, they were not really doing much. And guys, as I mentioned before, that also goes to tell you that there's a possibility that this season, it's not necessarily the loudest person or the most chaotic person of the season that is the viewer's favorite. There's a possibility that it is the reverse, and it's really exciting to think of, and I cannot wait to see how this season ends. Yes. Now, K-Bobo won the most influential player of the week, so massive congratulations to him. It means he has immunity for week 7. Yes. And finally, Ebuka had asked Imisi questions about Joanna, you know, what she had to say about Joanna, and Imisi had not given a response to the question. Instead, she has said that she was quite tensed, and so anything that she responds to right now is not going to be real. So she has nothing to respond to. I said, okay, fine. And then finally, Ebuka had addressed housemates who were always saying that, oh, they wish Ebuka would ask them a question about certain housemates during the live eviction show so that they will speak their mind, they will say XYZ. And Ebuka had said that he thinks it's weird and he thinks it's quite performative if he asks them such a question and then they have to respond during the live show. That if they have anything to say, you should go ahead and say it in the house instead of waiting for him to come on Sunday and then they expect him to ask him the question. And guys, of course, I am one of those people that had actually tagged Ebuka during the week to question Zita about her sentiments towards Sultana, Doris, Thelma, and Big Soso. Yes. And I totally understand where Ebuka is coming from. I mean, you can literally classify it as performative. If a housemate, you know, is requesting to be asked questions and then they are asked questions and then they respond to those questions the way they have planned to answer those questions during the live eviction show on Sunday. However, where I kind of disagree with Ebuka, you know, is where he said it's going to come off as performative. The fact of the matter is, everything these housemates are doing on the show is quite performative. Yes, they are performative, every single one of them. Because on a normal day, you cannot tell me that these housemates are mad on the outside. You cannot tell me that the littlest things provokes them to the point that they run crazy, they go naked, they do this, they do that. No, everything they're doing on the show, it's all performative. Now, sometimes you might say that, okay, there's a bit of realness here and there. Yes, but most of the time, according to the theme of the season, they are doing the most. Yes. So even if a housemate wants Ebuka to ask them a question on Sunday during the live eviction show and he goes ahead to ask, the truth of the matter is the housemate can only answer the question, but the housemate cannot control the reaction of the other people that they are dragging via their response to Ebuka's question. That is the thing. Because the ones too that will be called out, that will be dragged, they too will get into performative mode and they too want to perform their reaction. So it's a full circle thing, you know, whatever goes out, it comes back and it just goes round and around and around like that. And I also think that it makes for good TV. You know, if on Sunday during the live eviction show, a housemate is asked a question, okay, fine, you said you have XYZ you want to ask or you want to say to XYZ persons, okay, go ahead and say it. I mean, just like we had during the All-Star season that Doing gave us such a massive performance, if we call it that, you know, I think it's going to make for good TV. I mean, this is years later and people still refer back to the way Doing handled Venita during the live eviction show. So two things can be true at the same time. I agree with Ebuka that it's kind of weird for the housemates to wait for the show, for them to be questions about their sentiments towards fellow housemates. But at the same time, I disagree that it's going to be entirely performative. No, because at the end of the day, everything about the show is performative. So ladies and gentlemen, I would love to hear your thoughts about that. So please go ahead and share in the comment section below. I'll see you guys on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing evening. Bye.